Welcome to the definitive guide on mastering your business finances. If you have ever found yourself staring at a pending balance and wondering exactly how the Stripe payout schedule works, you are in the right place. Today, we have brought together our most essential tutorials into one massive compilation to ensure you never have to guess about your money again. We are kicking things off with the fundamentals for anyone asking, what is Stripe and how does it work? Breaking down the core engine of the world's most powerful payment processor. But we aren't stopping at the basics. We know that cash flow is the heartbeat of your business, so we're diving deep into the secrets of Stripe Instant Payouts, showing you exactly how to bypass the standard waiting period and get your hard-earned revenue into your bank account in minutes. Whether you are a new entrepreneur setting up your first account or a veteran looking to optimize your Stripe payout settings, this video is designed to be your ultimate roadmap. We've organized everything from basic setup to advanced cash flow strategies. So, grab a coffee, settle in, and let's master your payments together. At its core, Stripe is a payment infrastructure company. That sounds abstract, but the idea is simple. Stripe sits between your customer, their bank, the card networks, and your bank account. Instead of you trying to connect to all of those systems individually, Stripe handles the heavy lifting and gives you one clean control panel. When someone buys from you, Stripe collects the payment details securely. Those details never really touch your servers, which matters more than most people realize. Stripe encrypts the data, sends it to the card networks like Visa or Mastercard, checks with the customer's bank for approval, and then reports back to your site in seconds. Approved or declined. Clean and fast. If the payment goes through, Stripe doesn't instantly drop the money into your bank account. It first shows up in your Stripe balance. Think of that as a holding area. From there, Stripe automatically pays out to your bank on a schedule you control, usually every couple of days. That delay isn't Stripe being difficult. It's part of fraud prevention, dispute handling, and regulatory compliance. Now, here's where Stripe separates itself from simpler tools. Stripe isn't just a checkout button, it's a full toolkit. You can sell one-time products, run subscriptions, charge usage-based fees, split payments between multiple sellers, or send someone a payment link without even building a website. That flexibility is why startups love it, and why large platforms stick with it long-term. If you're running subscriptions, Stripe tracks billing cycles, retries failed cards automatically, and emails customers when something goes wrong. If you're running a marketplace, Stripe can hold money, take a platform fee, and pay out the rest to sellers without you manually touching anything. That level of automation saves real time and prevents expensive mistakes. Setting Stripe up follows a predictable path. You create an account, verify your identity, and connect your bank. Stripe asks detailed questions about what you sell, how customers pay, and where your business operates. This isn't busy work. Stripe uses this information to assess risk and stay compliant with financial regulations. Skipping details or being vague is one of the fastest ways to trigger account reviews later. Once you're inside the dashboard, everything revolves around visibility. You can see every payment, refund, dispute, and fee in real time. You can filter customers, track revenue trends, and download reports without exporting data into spreadsheets unless you want to. Payment links deserve special attention. These let you create a checkout page without code. You define the product, price, currency, and optional fields like addresses or phone numbers. Stripe hosts the checkout securely, and you share the link anywhere. For many small operations, that alone replaces complicated website setups. Now, a quick reality check. Stripe is powerful, but it's not effortless. The deeper features shine when there's some technical setup involved. Developers love Stripe because the API gives precise control over how payments behave. Without technical help, you'll still get paid, but you won't unlock everything Stripe can do. Fees are another thing to understand up front. Stripe charges per transaction, usually a percentage plus a flat amount. The pricing is transparent, but at scale, those fees add up. Stripe trades lower complexity for slightly higher cost, and that trade-off makes sense for many businesses. First, open up your Stripe dashboard and head straight to the balances page. This is where you actually see the gears turning. If you just opened your account, you need to prepare for a bit of a wait because Stripe places a mandatory hold on your first payout that usually lasts between 7 and 14 days. They do this to verify you are a real person selling real things. So do not panic if that first transfer feels like it is taking forever. Once you pass that initiation, you can take the wheel. Look for your payout settings. If you are in the US, you are automatically on a 2-day rolling schedule. This means the money you made on Monday hits your bank on Wednesday. If you are in the UK or Europe, things might move a bit slower, depending on local banking rules, but you still have the power to change the frequency. To customize this, find the Schedule toggle. You can stick with Automatic, which is the Set It and Forget It option, but you need to choose the interval. Daily is the standard choice for keeping cash flow moving, but you can also switch to weekly or monthly if you prefer getting one big lump sum on a specific day. If you are a control freak who wants to decide exactly when the transfer happens, switch your settings to Manual. This stops Stripe from sending money on its own and lets you trigger a payout whenever you feel like it. Just remember that payouts batch at midnight UTC, so if you miss that window, you are essentially adding another day to the wait. This delay exists because the banking system is significantly slower than the internet. When a customer pays you, the money settles into your Stripe balance almost instantly. But the payout is a separate journey from Stripe to your bank. Banks usually take another 1 to 3 business days to actually show that deposit in your available balance. It is also worth noting that weekends and holidays do not count as business days, so if you expect a payout on a Saturday, you won't see it until Monday or Tuesday. You've worked hard for those sales, but Stripe is currently holding your balance hostage in a digital vault while your bills continue to pile up in the real world. It feels like the platform is playing a game of keep away with your cash flow, and if you don't know which buttons to toggle, you'll stay stuck in that standard payout cycle forever. Let's fix that right now so you can get paid in minutes, not next week. Open up your web browser and head straight to Stripe. Look for that sign-in button at the top right and get yourself into the dashboard. Once you're staring at your home screen, your first stop is the Balance tab in the main menu. This is where the magic happens, or where it stalls out if your settings aren't right. You'll see an option to add a bank account right there in the Balance section. If you already have one linked, you need to make sure it's actually eligible for instant transfers. Not every debit card or bank account plays nice with the instant system, so if you don't see the instant option later, your card is likely the culprit. If the Balance tab feels a bit cluttered, there is a more direct route through the back end. Click that gear icon for settings at the bottom left of your screen. Under the Business section, look for Linked External Accounts. This is the nerve center for your money. If you haven't added a debit card yet, do it here. Stripe usually prefers a supported debit card for the fastest, instant speeds, as standard bank account routing can still take a few hours even on the fast track. Now, why does Stripe make you jump through these hoops instead of just giving you the money instantly by default? It mostly comes down to risk management and the legacy banking system. Banks still use outdated batch processing for standard transfers, and Stripe wants to ensure you aren't a fraud risk before they front you the cash. By manually setting up these instant hooks, you're basically telling their system to prioritize your liquidity over their standard safety buffers. Once your card is verified, stay in those settings and find Payout Schedule. You can leave it on manual if you like the control of clicking Payout Now whenever you feel like it, but the real pro move is automating it. You can set the frequency to daily, weekly, or monthly. If you choose daily, Stripe will push your available funds to your account every single day, so you never have to think about it again. Just make sure you hit Save before you close the tab, or you'll be right back where you started. You're taking payments online. Money is finally moving, and everything looks fine on the surface. Then a chargeback hits. Then another. And suddenly, Stripe is asking questions you don't want to answer. This is the exact moment radar fraud protection stops being optional and starts being essential. By the end of this walkthrough, radar will be switched on, tuned to your business, and quietly protecting every payment that comes through. Start by opening your browser and heading to Stripe. Sign in like normal and let the dashboard load fully. Don't rush past this screen. This is command central for your money, and every fraud decision flows from here. Once you're inside, move your attention to the Payments section in the left navigation. This is where Stripe tracks real transactions, not test data, not guesses. Click it. From here, look for Radar. This is Stripe's built-in fraud detection system, and it works in real time, which matters more than most people realize. Fraud doesn't politely wait until the end of the day. When Radar opens, head straight to the Rules area. This is where control actually lives. Radar works automatically in the background, but rules decide what gets blocked, what gets reviewed, and what gets a free pass. Scroll until you see the section for block rules. Look closely, and you'll notice a small three-dot menu next to it. Click that. Stripe hides power settings in plain sight. Now you're looking at options that determine how strict Radar will be. Enable the rules that block high-risk payments automatically. This tells Stripe not to ask you for permission when something looks wrong. It just stops the charge before it becomes your problem. Once enabled, save the changes and let Stripe confirm everything is active. At this point, Radar is technically on, but here's what most people miss. Default protection is safe, but it's generic. Fraud patterns vary by business type, country, and price point. That's why Stripe lets you customize rules. As transactions come in, Radar learns what normal looks like for you. That learning only works if the rules are active early, before fraud sneaks in. It helps to understand why this even matters. Fraudsters test stolen cards in small bursts. If a payment slips through once, they come back harder. Radar watches signals like IP behavior, card velocity, and past dispute history. You don't see any of that data manually, but Radar does, instantly. Once Radar is running, keep an eye on the review queue inside Payments. You don't need to babysit it, but checking occasionally helps you understand what Stripe is blocking and why. Over time, you'll trust it enough to stop worrying about every transaction. And that's the real win here. You're no longer reacting to fraud after money is gone. You're stopping it before it touches your balance. Payments keep flowing, disputes drop, and Stripe stays happy with your account standing. Radar doesn't change how customers pay, it changes how safe you sleep at night. And now, it's working for you. And that brings us to the end of our complete Stripe Masterclass. We've covered everything from the foundational question of how Stripe works to the logistics of managing your payout schedule and even how to skip the wait with instant payouts. By now, you should feel fully equipped to manage your business cash flow like a pro. If this compilation helped clear up any confusion about your payment processing, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us continue creating these deep dive resources for entrepreneurs like you. If you have a specific question about your own Stripe setup or a payout issue we didn't cover, drop a comment below. We do our best to jump in and help out. Don't forget to check the links in the description for more resources and tools to help grow your business. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.